What's up, guys? It's Dustin here. So today I'm talking about Hero's Quest, and I thought I'd start making some videos for it. I noticed a lack of content out there, so I decided, maybe think about, making some of my own. Today's video, I want to be reviewing all the rings. There's a lot of rings to choose from, so hopefully I'll explain to you which ones are good and which ones are bad. So the first assumption is that you're playing on, heroic, difficulty, or hard difficulty, I'm sorry. And then, I play on expert. So, I'm assuming that you're playing on hard, because if you're playing on normal or very easy, the meta for the rings might be a little bit different. So the difficulty you play on does affect what rings are good. Hopefully I'll explain that as I'm going through these reviews. So here I have all the rings unlocked here. Maybe in another video I'll go through the bracelets and the weapons, but today I'll just be covering the rings. Maybe I'll review the spells as well and their trees. Maybe give some a little guide. So this is kind of like a guide on rings. So let's get started. As you can see here, I've upgraded all the rings. I'm not gonna really focus on how they upgrade. I'm just gonna focus on what they do. All right, the first ring we have here is the lesser defense ring. So this gives you 3 defense. So when I'm reviewing these, I'm gonna review it based on its tier. So this is tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and tier 4. So just because we have great ring of defense over here doesn't mean that this is any, I'm not going to give it a worse score because this exists, right? We're talking about early game when we're talking about tier 1. So tier 1, so here we have the lesser defense ring. This is really good for keeping Grumpy alive because he's on the front line and he's going to be taking a lot of damage like tanky, but he has, less health. So this is really good at keeping Grumpy alive, especially if you're having trouble. He dies very easily, so getting defense on him is really good. And if Grumpy's not using it, you can put it on your back line if they're having trouble surviving. He wouldn't really want it on tanky. It's kind of redundant since he has a crap ton of defense already. Next on so this gets an A. Next list is XP ring. I'm gonna give this a D. And the reason I'm giving it a D is I don't find that the levels of your party is important except for the healer, and this does not benefit the healer. It's only really good for making sure everyone's balanced. If someone's dying too much, they don't get XP. So if they're a couple levels behind, this is pretty good for keeping them up. Otherwise, it's just a crappy ring. I mean, if you're grinding, then that's fine. That's why it gets a D. It's only useful if you're grinding. Golden ring. This also gets a D. D being niche, it's usable. And F's mean never use. So anything above a D is pretty good. But D rank is niche. So this is only for the achievement. Gold is pretty worthless when you're progressing, really. You're just gonna naturally get it. So if a lot of times you're not really gonna buy potions, yeah, it's only useful for the achievement, and that achievement's unlocking all the rings because you need a shit ton of gold for that. But gold's not that important. You're gonna naturally get it, and you're not gonna buy every weapon you see. Not until late game where you're doing completion. It's just grind more. Don't even bother equipping, because you're gonna get EXP when you need EXP more than you need gold. So, yeah, it's kind of worse than the XP ring if you're talking about, outside of the achievement. It'd be get an F. If there was no achievement, I would just give this a straight up F. So shield ring, owner starts with flight with 45 HP. I don't really know how good that is early game, but I'm gonna give it a C. And the reason I'm giving it a C is you can put it on tanky, and that'll trigger his attack bonus when he's at above 90%, and that really helps keeping him above that 90%. So that's the only use I really see for it. It's just kind of, especially in long drawn out battles, it's kind of worthless. So it's kind of sucky, but it's just good for tanky. I might move this down to a D. I don't know, because I gave this an F. You know, I'm going to keep it like that, because early game, 45 HP. Sounds like a lot, so I'm going to keep it like that. Alright, the Rat Ring. This gets an F. The 25%, I guess that's decent. And you can out-heal poison, or you can just remedy it, so, yeah. And when owner has low HP, he gets 3 defense. That's not bad, but you really... If you're playing on easy difficulties, you know what? I could give this a D if you're playing on easy difficulty, because you could just slap this onto Grumpy, who benefits from low HP. So having that 3 defense is actually really nice, but no one should really be on low HP. So that's why this gets an F. D if you're playing on easy. Or, you know, I could probably give it a B for Grumpy on easier modes. Because when you're playing on like hard difficulty and harder difficulty, you do not want Grumpy to be low HP if you can help it. Alright, we're going to move on to the Recovery Ring. This gets an F. There's no reason why you would ever use this. It just takes up a valuable ring slot. And what it does is just gives your, basically your party a potion after each battle. Like, okay, just buy potions or just heal. Be better at healing at the end of a match, because you know, you're down your last enemy and he's down to that last drop of health. You have a little window to heal everybody, so it's just worthless. F. Regeneration. I guess it's good at keeping your back line alive, because, you know, at hard difficulty, burst heal is very important. So, I don't know where to place this. I'd have to give it a C, just because I'm not sure. It's usable, but I'm not sure how good it is, you know? Especially since there's other sources of heal over time. I don't know. But like at hard difficulty, this kind of sucks because you have to deal with burst damage. And this doesn't really help for that. So I guess in the back line, it's pretty good. So that's why it gets a C. I wouldn't put it on Grumpy or Tanky, because they're going to be facing most of the bursts. So, nope. So let's get to C. Ring of Stupidity. I guess I give it an A. You know, it's like the damage ring, except it offers a little bit of survivability and trade of damage. So I guess it's good on like it's good on like Murky here, because or better yet Beauty. Well, I don't know. I think Beauty has less defense here. So this is pretty good on Beauty or Murky, whichever. All right. So damage ring, this also gets an A. You know, 3 flat damage is pretty good, especially for your backline people. You know, Murky and Beauty. So these are really good rings for them, since they'll be doing most of your damage for you. You can also put on Grumpy, but I would, or Tanky, but I would prioritize keeping those 2 alive, since they're your front line. And then damage reflect. This gets an F. I don't notice it. It's negligible. Like 10%. I don't feel like that's a lot. I'm not gonna notice it. And it doesn't help you stay alive really. F. All right, so we're gonna move on to tier 2. So here we have Monolink. When you first get this, it's an excellent ring because you most likely don't have any sources of mana. You know. But I can't give it an A because late game you're gonna have other sources of mana. This doesn't really cut it anymore. But it's really good. You know, 40 mana, that's a lot. So that's good. It gets a B. Successful. A 30% resist is decent, but Odor never misses an attack. I'd have to give this a D because accuracy is not. You're gonna have more problems in accuracy. I don't know, I kind of want to give it an F, but, you know, we got 30% chance resistance. It might come in handy. Oh, D. So the light. Problem is it doesn't, you know, I kind of want to give it an F, or it's just so niche. It's gonna get a D though. You know, Doom's a problem, but just for one party member, and you'll be using Remedy if you're facing Doom, so it's just I really want to give it an F. Yeah, I'll give it an F because it doesn't take away the fact that you still need remedy. Because not all 4th party members can be immune to doom. Like, why? You're still going to be using remedy, so why would you kind of use this? It doesn't make sense. I'd rather pick something to increase survivability than pick this up. Demonic ring. So this is a regeneration ring. But it's not very consistent. When you're below 30%, you start losing health. Like, it helps you die faster when you're behind on healing. Like, why? It works against you. So I mean, the 3.5% recovery is nice, except, you know, you're dealing with a lot of burst damage, so you don't want that working against you when you get hit with burst. So it's pretty bad. On easier difficulties, you could use this. Same thing with Satanic Ring. That also gets a D. Same situation. It's good on Grumpy, but nobody else. You know, if you're looking to get him, if you have a certain setup where Grumpy's always in crit mode or boosted mode or whatever it's called, this ring will get you there faster. And it also helps him survive. It helps him survive when he's down there, but it also works to remove it. So I don't know. His is when he's less than, I guess. You know what? Yeah, that's really good for keeping Berserker's Rage, because his is 40%, and this will you know, keep you in between 30, which is below his Berserker. So, you know, it helps. But, you know, Satanic Ring, it helps him keep his Berserker active. It'll keep him in between that sweet spot of 30 to 40. But in like hard difficulties, he's gonna die. So no. He dies a lot in hard difficulty. Focus ring. The 1 damage is crappy, and the owner always attacks enemy with less HP. I'm gonna have to give this a ring an F. I'd rather have a damage ring or ring of stupidity 80 today than this. You shouldn't really be struggling that much again. This does not help you in boss battles. You need rings that focus on helping in boss battles too. So grinding usually isn't a problem. If you are having problems grinding, you should probably, you know, get more EXP in easier areas. So, I mean, it's a nice grinding ring. I'll bump, you know what, instead of an F, I'll give it a D. It helps you clear grinding faster and easier. Yeah, so it's a D. It's only good for grinding. The Rage Ring, I'd have to give this a D, simply because Super Gauge, I don't know. I just don't feel like supers are that fantastic. I mean, you could put it on, maybe I'll bump it up to a C, because, you know, Murky's super is pretty good. But I don't know, is it that good to replace this with like another ring? That's I don't know. I'll give it a C. You like supers and just go for it. I don't feel like they're that great. You know, you're just naturally gonna get supers anyways, so I'd rather have rings that increase survivability or damage rather than this. That's why I'm rating it kind of low. Constellation Ring. I have to give this an F. You should always be using Remedy, so that's why. And most abnormal statuses are really bad, and you don't want to keep them on there, so you want to remove them. So that's why this gets an F. Why would you want to get encouraged to have an abnormal status? It was beyond me. This doesn't make sense. I give this an F. Now we have Unstable Healing Ring. It's kind of inconsistent because it effectively gives you 3 HP per second, which is not terrible, but it's just so inconsistent. But the thing redeeming quality about this is its burst heal, which is 25, so that's not bad. But it's just so inconsistent. That's why I would give it a D. Maybe if it was every 8 seconds, it gave you maybe 50 health or 25 health guaranteed, I'd bump it up. But you know, that 50% chance is just killing it. It's just so inconsistent. That's why it gets it, you know, a D. Absorber Ring, I'm gonna have to give this an F. 14% of the damage dealt to the owner is given back to a random ally. It passes damage given to a random ally. It's 14% damage mitigation. I don't know. I don't. 14% is just so terrible. I wouldn't use it. Maybe all the damage is given back to a random ally. Maybe that would have some uses with keeping your squishies alive, but I feel like it just sucks. Alright, we're here on tier 3 now. We have the Mana Absorber Ring. I'm gonna give this an F. I don't notice this thing really helping. I'd rather use Monolink any time of the day. So, F. When owner is low on health, he flees from combat. So this is the strategic ring. Retreat ring. There's better rings. It just gets outclassed by pretty much Sacred Ring and Rescue Ring. It's just awful. Why would you want them to leave for 8 seconds? You know, that's 8 seconds they're not doing damage or helping absorb damage either. So it's just bad. So that's why I give it an F. I wouldn't use it. Sacred Ring. So what it does is when you die, it brings you back to life after 2 seconds for 50 HP. So this is pretty good. I'm gonna give it a B because if you're already, good at the game, you're not letting anybody die. This isn't really gonna help you. But it's good for fixing boo-boos. Oftentimes when my backline accidentally dies, this is really good for keeping them alive. Keeping them alive is very important. You don't want them dying on you. The Turtle Ring. This gets a freaking F, dude. 17 seconds, just way too long to deal with losing 5 HP per second. And reward is 4 HP per second regeneration. It's just so crappy because most of the damage is being dealt within the first 17 seconds. So this is pretty awful. I mean, maybe on boss battles it might be useful, but no, forget it. It's just too heavy of a price to pay. Maybe on easier difficulty you might find this useful. Oh, F. So the hair ring is opposite. So on hard difficulty this gets an F. Usually battles last longer than 15 seconds, so dealing with the punishment is just not good. I mean, your battles have to end pretty close to 15 for this to be any benefit to you. But on easier difficulties, this is probably might be useful, especially for grinding. So on easy difficulty, it gets a D. So this is the Blessed Ring. All healing spells the owner are 25% more effective, or 20% unupgraded. This ring is really good on tanky. He has the highest health pool on the team, so this is his best in slot. You're always going to want to have this on tanky. So it's a really good ring to have on tanky, or maybe even grumpy too, but really tanky should really be using this ring. Great damage. This gets an A, solid damage, 7. So, nothing to complain about here. That damage is always nice for your back line. So if you need more damage, you need to pick one of these. And if you don't have any trouble surviving either, so it's really good. The Ugliness Ring. So when you pick this up, you're not going to be using it for very long. But I'm still going to give it an A, because when you're going to use it as soon as you pick it up, because it outclasses the Lesser Defense Ring by 2. But, yeah, the Great Defense Ring outclasses it by a lot. But, if you need 2 defense rings for, your back line, you want to give them both defense, you could equip this and this at the same time. This is the setup you'd have. That'd be good. And that'd be fine. Or you can mix it up. Instead of giving him that, you can give him the Rescue Ring. But anyways, moving on. The Critical Ring. If you're doing crit builds, this is really good. Some weapons give natural crit, so adding this on is really good for damage. That gets an A as well. So A. All these rings are good on the bottom here. And then last but not least is the Rescue Ring, tier 3. Ally is granted 7 seconds of vulnerability when reaching low health. This is a nice little buffer. you know, you're having an oh shit moment. So this comes in pretty handy, especially keeping Grumpy alive. But the only thing holding us back is triggers once per combat. Because of that, I might have it give it a B. Yeah, I'm gonna bump this down to a B because it only triggers once per combat. If it triggered, you know, maybe every 15 seconds, it'd be better. But not 17, I don't know. I'm torn between A and B. I like this ring though, especially on your back line, just keeping them alive. So, but I don't believe it protects from instant death. And this does. So I'm gonna give this. I need to bump some people. There's too many A's in tier 3, so I'm gonna have to give this a B. Yep, Risk Ring gets a B. All right. So here's our last line. So tier 4. So Last Chance Ring gives you a lot of benefit. 12 points of defense is huge. 10 HP is a lot. That's about 60 HP total. I feel like it's good. I kind of want to give it a C. But, you know, when this triggers, good chance you're already dead. Burst damage is a real thing, so I don't know. The harder difficulties you go, the less helpful this ring seems. I'm gonna have to give it just a C. So this gives 4 HP. You know, very consistent. It just comes too late in the game. You know, when you get this already, it's not upgraded, so it's about what 3 HP. It's just kind of lame. I kind of want to just give this a D because you get it so late in the game. It's just not useful. So this has amazing defense. This gets an A. I don't need to say more about that. Great Shield Ring. When you get this, it's gonna be an F because 90 at this late in the game, 90 HP is not a lot. So you're not gonna in long-term battles, you're not gonna see benefit from this. It's not gonna help you stay alive, you know, after the first 5 seconds of the match. So you might like it. I don't. It's an F. I mean, if you disagree with me, that's fine. So we have Great Reflect. Same reason why this gets an F. So now we're down to the Sacrifice Ring. This also gets an F. You know what? I'm gonna bump this up to a D, and I'm gonna give you a reason why. So when the owner dies, your other allies get 12 defense. It's 7 damage. That's a lot. But it only triggers once per combat. So if you're using the life spell, this is usable, and that's it. And that benefit, it just doesn't seem like a lot. Just for bringing, because you normally shouldn't be using life. So it's just, D or an F. D minus. Let's just say that. It's just so niche. You know, life has to be good for this to work. So, you know, if you're using a life build, then yeah, you could use this. So the Fortune Ring, this gets a D. It's only useful for the achievement. It gives you a lot of freaking gold. If you're saving up to upgrade all the rings at once, or the ones you haven't already, this is really good. So wait till you have enough gold to upgrade them all at once. Assuming you've upgraded the ones that you're using. Which you should be doing, by the way. But this is good, you know, you're getting 100% completion. That's it. You know, by the time you get this, that's what you're doing anyways. So, you know, I can't be mad that this was tier 1. You know, it's not a beginner trap like the Golden Ring. So I can't really rate this one. I guess I could just give it a D because it gives you a chest on the lake. I could actually show you. I'm right next to it. You equip it and you walk over here. And there you go. So it helps you walk over to get that chest. I believe... I don't remember what's in that chest though. I'm sorry. I think it's... It might be a Great Defense Ring or one of these 3. I don't remember. It's a tier 4 ring though. That's all I remember. Sorry about that. That's all it's used for. It's just a one-use thing. So I guess it's a D. It's not completely shit, so... Alright, so last 2 rings. Dev's Crappy Ring. This gives you 50% chance to resist any abnormal. I'd rather have like defense. I mean, these two rings are not gonna, help you not use remedy. You're always gonna be using remedy, especially when abnormal statuses are a problem. So if you're running remedy, why would you equip these? And if you're not running remedy, then you're gonna have a bad time. So there's no reason not to run remedy. But if you are running remedy, it kind of helps because you're gonna use remedy less, gives you more mana for other things. So I'm gonna have to give this a D, and this is gonna get a C. 100% is really good. But again, it's just, you're gonna be using remedy. And I can show you real quick why you, I don't know if I can. Global Cure is why you wouldn't run it, because Global Cure is really good. So it just doesn't make sense why you'd run those rings when Global Cure is a thing. It's just what I'm saying. That ends my review of the rings. Let me know if you disagree with my ratings. You can argue with me. You think a ring deserves higher or lower on my list, which is fine.